Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. And so in this video we're going to get started with the coding and actually writing the infrastructure as code to get things going. We talked about the file structure in the previous video, and we talked about the architecture of Velero in the other video, which was I believe the first video. Alright, so in this one we're going to start off with the data.tf file. We're going to look at variables, and then we're going to look at creating the bucket. Yeah, let's get going. So in the data .tfl, remember here what we're trying to do is we're probably going to query certain things from AWS, and the two things we're going to query here, it's this now, is both the region and the account that we are using. So I'm going to say region, and I'm going to say current, and here we're going to query the caller identity, and I'm going to say current as well. And then the other thing this is not necessarily AWS related, but the other thing I'm going to add on here is the random integer resource from Terraform. I'm going to call it this. And essentially what this is going to help us with is going to help us make sure that we have unique names for certain resources, whether that's, for example, S3. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say 1. Just give us a random number between 1 and 50,000. I know that's kind of like a lot, but hey, it works. Sorry, man, I'm doing this in the wrong file. This we're going to do in the .tf, data.tf file. Then in the variables file, essentially here, because this is a module, it's going to have values passed into it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a variable. And I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, okay, I have a variable here, and I'm going to call it namespace. And then we're going to have a description. Sorry, we're going to have a default. We're going to call it Velero, and it's going to be a type of string. And then with that set up, the next thing we're going to have is we're going to have the description. Okay, so the description is, okay, cool. Love Copilot. The next one we're going to have is variable is the service account name. Like, what do we want to call the service account? We'll create this in the module. Okay, cool. We're gonna call it Velero. That's fine. Perfect. The description is also perfect. And then the next thing we're gonna have is so variable is the Open Connect provider. Oh, that almost didn't come on. Took a while to come into my mind. We're gonna want the URI of it, and essentially remember the provider is what connects. This is what connects EKS with IAM. We're not gonna have a default for this because it's required that you pass in the correct one. Okay, cool. Now let's go to the bucket. Now we're gonna create the bucket resource. So I'm gonna say resource AWS underscore S3 underscore bucket, and then we're gonna say this, and then we're gonna say bucket. Say equals. I'm gonna say Velero backups. I'm gonna say default location, and then it will pass in that random. Pass in that random integer and say this. Actually, it's gonna be ID versus result. Okay, cool. That will create our bucket over there. We've got, now let's test and see if, cool. Let's test and see if all is well. So I'm gonna say Terraform init, because I think I might have a module. Sorry, I think I might have a module that's not downloaded. So for example, the module that I'm using here is random underscore integer. I don't think I have that. So let's just double check. Okay, cool. Now we're set up. So what I'm going to do is Terraform to Terraform plan, and then let's see if we have any errors, any typos. Oh, actually, it's not gonna work. Actually, let me just let me just do that. Actually, let me cancel it. The reason it's not gonna work is because I haven't brought in the module. I'm still just building the module. So let's hold on to any Terraform init plan commands for later on. So which means we're essentially done for this video. We're gonna catch up in the next video, and I think there we're gonna look at IM and creating the IM policy, the IM roles, as well as integrating that um, with a service account, right? So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.